Coming to you live from my bedroom that is not cleaned. Welcome back to another episode of the Master Hand Games flagship podcast, Gloves Off. Oh, your home for Super Smash Brothers and Super Smash Brothers accessories, and in this case, potato chips. I am one of your fabulous hosts, Master Hand Games Koopa, joined as always by the sour cream to my chives, I guess, in this scenario, Mr. Chris EX.
Yo, what's up, dude?
What's your chip of choice, Chris?
Dude, I actually love cheddar and sour cream, as you mentioned sour cream. Cheddar and sour cream, like you get nice baked like Lay's or like whatever baked cheddar sour cream. It's a fantastic chip.
Good choice. Joining us as always, coming back. Took a fat nap last week, but he is since awake. Mr. Hazmat Rules. What's your favorite bag of your favorite chips?
Controversial, but it is salt and vinegar. I love salt and vinegar chips, bro. I love. Someone pointed out every chip has salt in them, so they're just vinegar chips. I was like, oh.
Huh? Dude, there's definitely extra salt. Come on.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
I
tell
know,
me.
I know. I like that though. I thought that was an interesting take. Like every chip,
It
has
honestly
salt on
is.
it. I actually I was taking a nap before this podcast as well, but mysteriously my fire alarm went off and woke me up. There's no fire or anything. Like there was nothing going on in my apartment, but my fire alarm went off and woke me up right in time for the podcast. So that was pretty exciting stuff.
How about that? It's kind of like how the fire alarm went off at the Nats game last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And joining us as always, everybody's favorite phone caller from New York, Frank at work, not in the car this time, Mr. Hangman XII. And as the man of many chips, what's your favorite flavored chips?
Well, plot twist. My favorite is also salt and vinegar.
So good, dude. So
dope.
good. You get a good sandwich, you get some salt and vinegar chips. Now you're talking. That's a good lunch right there.
That's
I'm a
true.
big fan of, if we're talking just general flavors of chips, I'm a big fan of barbecue. But if we're talking like very specific, like super obscure brands of chips, they make these brands of chips that I've only seen at like Wawa, where they're crab chips from like Chicky and Pete's.
I don't think I've tried those yet.
They're absolutely phenomenal. Like I cannot like describe it without just showing it to you. They're dope. But yeah, you guys can tune in on our Patreon page for our exclusive in-depth talk of potato chips. But
Coming soon.
in the meantime, we are here to talk. So for the most part, kind of a slow news week this week. No major tournaments happening last weekend, to my knowledge. Did we miss anything last week?
There was something that I feel like Japan won something, and I can't remember what it was.
Let's go, Japan.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah, we definitely are, but we'll just pretend like we're not for a minute, and then when one of us inevitably looks it up, we'll know. But it definitely.
All I can think of is there was the 100 plus entrant tournament that had a really weird top 16, but outside of that, I think it's been kind of quiet.
Do you remember who was like in the top 16?
Player-wise, off the top of my head, no, but I do know character-wise. For the first time in a long time, I saw Bowser Jr. somewhere in the top 16.
Oh yikes! We still have to talk about it.
Yeah, like we said, no news this week.
Yes, tournament-wise, nothing crazy, but we are approaching one of the last major tournaments of the year, at least in regards to like namesake. So I guess we can kind of start there. Well, actually, no. We'll get there in a second. We're going to talk about Big House because that's coming up this weekend, as well as Battle for the East. But the one big thing that happened this week, at least news-wise, that kind of shaped how Big House is going to look out is Ultimate Smash Summit 2 voting. Actually, the vote-in process finished this week, and I must say, it finished much quicker than it happened last time. I felt that.
I feel like it kind of came and went. You're right. I feel like the phases went really quickly, and I do remember them kind of like dragging on last year. But this was like kind of a ride this year. There was just like a lot of just like it felt very much like campaigning. Like as you were watching people just try to get in outside of like the guaranteed spots, like more than ever, really. Like even Leffen was out here shilling. Like like everyone was, man.
So let's take a look at who our invitees are, going in order of how they were voted in. Starting off with Arfang. Arfang's friend ate a cockroach sandwich, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Cockroach and Ghost Pepper. I feel like everyone's
Yeah.
sleeping on the fact that a Ghost Pepper is involved.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you say cockroach, man. You don't really.
I know. I feel like the spicy thing has been done many times. You know, like so people are. That's like that's to get started, right? Like that's your first step forward, and then the next, like, how do you take it to the next level? And it's obviously a disgusting, maybe the most disgusting animal on the planet.
Yeah, it's
Definitely up there.
it's like, bro, you think you're tough eating something hot? Why don't you eat something hot and gross and crunchy?
So
Yeah.
disgusting.
That
dude.
survives nuclear fallout and everything else. That is terrible.
Were you
Like,
the one that Were you the one that tweeted the picture of the cockroach from Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Yeah.
That
Yes.
amazing.
was so funny.
I
Yeah.
know that one didn't get as much traction as I wish it did because I thought that was a great, like, that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, that cockroach. I don't know why, like it's just some Cartoon Network memory that just like sprung into my mind instantly. But
Yeah.
I'm really happy that Arfang made it in because if I ate a fucking cockroach and I didn't get in, I would be so upset. Or if
Yeah,
that
dude.
dude did, not even me, like I would just feel bad.
it would feel
I would
like,
like
really
that's
bad.
like an
yeah.
automatic. That's like an automatic canceling of friendship. IMO. Like that person's you never talk to that person ever again. So, does Arfang still play Pikachu or Pichu? Excuse me.
Pichu, yeah. Pichu,
Okay.
as far as last I saw.
Yeah, so that's dope. Leffen streamed Ultimate or something. I forget what his like
Wasn't he
gimmick
doing
was for getting in.
Smash 4 or something?
Yeah. He called it Smash 4 for the Wii U is what he called it, and someone called him a boomer, and I thought that was the funniest tweet I read about. They're like, "Look at this boomer."
Yes.
that tweet legitimately got a laugh out of me. I think that was Afro Smash actually, which cracked me up.
That's
Smash-
fucking funny.
Smash 4 for the Wii U.
Boomer.
Oh my
That's
god.
fantastic. Yeah,
That
so
killed me.
the big left making it into Summit, then followed suit by I can't read the names right now.
Was it
but
Sam
was-
Sora is in there?
Yeah. Sam and
Uh,
Armada
which
got
is-
in there.
Which is fitting. Sam Sora should be. I mean, he's been sort of like front running the. I'm gonna call them leaderboards, even though it's rankings, just because that's like what came to mind. But like, yeah, he's been getting first at a lot of things. It'd be weird to not see him there.
He also
Armada,
ate a raw egg.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Dude, that-
Did you?
it's gross watching the video too, because you get to see how how uncomfortable he is too. Like just the whole thing's unpleasant.
Did you guys see? Did you watch any of the streams that he had at Nairo's place? Because he was streaming with Void, Light, and Nairo.
I saw bits and pieces.
Was
of it.
that
It
for
was
like?
great.
Was that campaigning purposes? Kind of.
Yeah.
Dude, that's.
Probably?
This
yeah.
is the most. It was never like this, but I guess like this is the first time it's been like ultimate, like
Yeah.
in its full swing, which is something.
The cooperation's easy too, because the other 3 people already made it in, so it's not like they were competing.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
no
mean? Like that,
competition.
which was cool.
Here's the video of him eating this egg.
Oh no, dude. Oh no.
Dude, look, he looks so ill.
Oh.
He didn't know where to go either. He just ran to a corner, and then he stopped. He's like, "Oh no, there's no garbage."
Oh, buddy.
Dude,
Oh, I love Sam Sora. I'm
all
so sad.
all of the yolk just oozing in
Oh.
a puddle. God.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking.
Yeah,
throw
that's
up.
a
This
lot.
is a terrible start to the day.
He clearly deserved it though.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
man.
Armada had the cleanest campaign out of anybody I think I've ever seen. I don't really think he did anything like crazy. He
Dude,
just kind of got voted
All
in.
he did was endure the week before with Salem not shaking his hand was all he needed to do.
That low-key helped him a lot. Also, just being the greatest Melee player of all time for
Oh,
10
yeah.
years. I mean, we don't want to say he didn't do nothing. Like, he
Yeah.
definitely, you know.
Well, I
people-
meant like in the context of like campaigning. 'cause,
No,
like,
I know. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you got it.
I was like gonna say, well, he just got voted into the Esports Hall of Fame too, which is pretty good
Yeah,
timing.
that's
for him.
hype. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool. I think pretty sure he's the first Smash player to get in. I think.
That's even better.
Rightfully so, if that's
Deserved.
the case.
Yeah,
For
deserving.
sure.
Armada
For
had it like we've talked about it on a podcast in the past, but like Armada has like one of the best legacies in Smash, like and the FGC in like general. Like his reign of like 2 different like time periods is absolutely like astounding. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
yeah, and then today, just voted in today, hot off the presses. After a very uncomfortable exchange on Twitter yesterday, Esam getting voted into Summit. So
Yeah.
his campaign was cute.
Wait, what
Cycle
was-
was like laden with issues. But to Esam's credit, he did showcase a lot of wigs.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
He just kept wearing his like girlfriend's or his fiance's cosplay wigs, I think, on stream.
Yeah.
Dude,
I watched some of his
easy.
streams. It was good. Yeah. What?
It was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought so too.
Like Esam did have hair at one point. I think the Palatino wig was my favorite.
Yeah.
The diva one was pretty good.
That's
Oh
pretty good.
yeah, when he the first time I ever met Esam, he ran my brawl pool at Apex 2011,
Oh
maybe,
wow.
and he had hair at the time, like that, like or 2010, 2011. So when I first met him, like he had hair, so it's kind of I don't know, because we don't think of him as a guy with no hair. Like that's just Esam now, you know what I mean? He's not like there you go, good job, Chris. Yeah,
they just keep going.
yeah. It was a good idea. It was definitely a unique and good little campaign there. Plus, he just came in hot off a glitch win, which is enormous, so that helped a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and like I said, after a very uncomfortable exchange on yesterday, but we don't need to go into any more details about that.
I'm actually in the dark about that. I did not know there was an uncomfortable exchange, but it's okay.
Oh no!
So let me I'll just like briefly touch on it.
Yeah.
So basically, Cosmos, other PG member, donated 3,000 votes to Samsora on the day that he got opted in, and I think Esam lost out on that spot by 2,900 votes or something like that.
Oh my god!
So basically, if Cosmos didn't vote for Samsora, Esam would have gotten in yesterday.
He's Florida. He's just, he's the swing vote.
Oh god!
They're like, but bro, the electoral college. What are you doing? And he's like, I'm just voting for my boy. Holy
yeah,
shit.
exactly. Well, I always find that interesting because for the first time we didn't have anyone to vote in. Well, I mean, we kind of tried for Kool-Aid, but honestly, our strategy was to wait and see what happened at main stage because I mean, obviously the priority would be Light or Mars, but they both got in at main stage, so we were like, what?
Huh.
What do we do now? And so we were like, oh, I guess we could try, for Kool-Aid, but it was a last second thing. Even he was uncertain about wanting to campaign, and you have to hit the ground running. You needed to have a campaign plan before main stage, basically, long before main stage, and be ready for it. So we tried to throw something together last second for Lade, but it obviously it's not going to work out if you don't have the planning or the commitment or whatever. And we already had 2 people in. So
right.
What the hell?
That's the big one. Everyone's just like, well, our boys got in already.
It's funny. I picture when you guys were thinking about is it gonna be Light or Mars, and they both get in. It's like that scene from SpongeBob where Plankton's like, I don't know, I didn't think I get this far.
Yeah, it's exactly dude. It was. I gotta say, it was so fucking nice to not participate. It really was to not try to organize shit. And, dude, I lose when we do summits and stuff. I lose sleep. I lose time. It's so much fucking effort. Not just that's just me. There's a whole community involved. So it was very nice to just chill and watch the summit unfold. And I didn't even watch the last 2 days of vote-ins. So
it was a ride, man. That was something I found most interesting is how much it really did feel like campaigning, because you got to see a little bit of everything. You got to see your traditional campaigns, and you got to see kind of I don't know, the bad things come out in campaign season is what I guess I got.
Yeah, it definitely brings out the worst in people.
It's just real politics,
fun.
Dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
With an actual swing state this time, like you said.
Yeah.
That's great.
Very much so.
Cosmos playing the role of Florida.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically what happened was Esam kind of let it rip on Twitter to Cosmos. He's like, nah, fuck you.
I get it.
Sucks. Yeah, I understand.
I definitely get it. Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed too.
Yeah, and he even went out and said, he's like, hey, listen, I'm sorry I reacted the way that I did, but I was angry, and it's fine. It's understandable, and I think Cosmos understood it too. He's like, yeah,
definitely.
Like we said, some campaigning brings out the worst in people. You got people out here throwing mud and eating cockroach sandwiches. It's quite disgusting.
Dude.
And we lost a lot of good people on the way. There was a really I would have been satisfied with basically anybody who would have gotten voted in.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. That's very true.
If Arfang's if Arfang's the outlier, then that's fine. That's totally dope.
Arfang rules, yeah.
Yeah, he's super duper good, man. I remember back in Smash 4, he had a really close set with Nairo at MomoCon. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. So
who did he play in Smash 4?
Mario and Cloud.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be super dope, and there's still 2 more spots left to go, so things are gonna get very interesting. There's whoever wins Big House and whoever wins Nightmare on Smashville. are the last.
Really? Nightmare at Smashville
Oh
counts?
yeah, I didn't know
I
that.
did
either.
not
I
know
think the
that.
last. I don't know if it's the winner of that, but I believe the last chance qualifier.
No
is there.
way. I gotta see who's signed up for this because last time we looked at
It's
this
big.
tournament, like no one was going really. Like Jackal was probably the most notable, who's not a PGR player, at least not yet, anyways.
And he is eligible to get into Summit if he wanted to.
Yeah.
If he wanted.
Well,
but-
he has the results, but that's crazy. So hold on, I'm gonna look at
yeah,
that.
I don't know.
right
If, I don't
now.
know if the winner of that gets in, or if it's like the last chance qualifier just happens to be there.
I see. It's either way. That's pretty interesting. I mean, fitting for a 2GG event, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
just trying to see who's here.
I know Jackal's gonna be there, obviously, because
I think Jackal already won the tournament.
Dope.
No,
Anyways.
I'm actually here for a Jackal versus Stocktaker Grand Finals. So try to get it
oh
properly
sweet
proper.
God, I don't know if Twitch Cat could handle the debauchery that would had like go down if that was the case.
Dude, it'd be better than the usual debauchery that's just Twitch chat.
Too much, like the brain would be too smooth, like far too smooth.
Dude, I don't really recognize anyone in this bracket except for Stocktaker and Jackal.
Did they seed it yet?
It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, Javi, I guess.
Ooh,
Yeah,
That's interesting.
this is interesting.
that is
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah,
Like
so
this is not going to be PGR event. There's no way. Like there's. Well, actually, I'm not.
Really?
Well, okay.
How many
what-
entrants are there? I can't
okay,
see
so
it
that's
for
the
sure.
thing. There's 262. So what? How is it based on entrance? And then how is it based off of like PGR scale? Because if it's PGR scale, I don't
It's
see.
either
I don't
or.
see any PGR players at all. So what's like the minimum for C? I guess is it still 200?
I think it's entrance wise for a C.
Okay.
Then your PGR status goes
Oh,
up by.
Pandarian's going. That's something.
Oh,
that'd be
Pandarian's sick.
All right, that is something.
Pandarian's actually hilarious on Twitter too. I don't know like what I've never like really seen him at events. But he's hilarious on Twitter.
Louis Money.
Yeah,
will
he's
be
like
there.
relatively like
Ooh,
a
Louis. I love Louis, dude.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
Louis? That's
Louis
my
Money,
dude.
baby.
It's his birthday the other day.
happy belated 21st birthday to Louis Money.
Love Luis, dude. One of my favorite like top player. I think he was really good in Smash 4 too, but we're definitely getting to see more of him in Ultimate. So
Wait, James.
Yeah,
he's
he won the last GT Smash 4.
That's right. Him and Pandarian were in that grand finals.
Yo, when did James sign up for Nightmare in Smashville? The heck?
Oh, did he?
Oh my
Apparently.
God.
All right, so
Did he?
I guess James is gone.
Yo, Tri-State Grand Finals.
James for Summit, apparently.
Yo, if James gets into Summit,
I'll be.
y'all
I'll be
don't know what
so
you're
pu-
waiting for,
I'll
man.
be so pumped, dude.
Dude, I'd pop off so hard.
James is like low key one of the funniest people I've ever met, and also like one of the worst human beings I've ever met, like simultaneously.
It's a dangerous combination, but someone's got to be it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Might as well be.
Yeah.
Might as well be James.
It's honest works, but someone's got to do it.
Crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's gonna be fun to see again. Like this Summit season kind of like come and went. Also, I gotta say the Summit merch this time around, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of. I think I got the Ivysaur sweatshirt.
Nice.
Yo, I was
So-
looking at how much they raised for the Summit. Holy F, dude. Hold on. I gotta find this number again. A total of 103,000 total shop
Wow.
purchases and donations. 43,000 to reward levels, almost 44,000. Nearly 35,000 fulfillment of shop items. 22,000 some change for the TOs. And yeah, that's crazy, dude. Then
I
5%
definitely
goes to
donated to
Smash
the
GP.
talent show because I'm trying to see people do funny shit.
What is this? What is the Great Smash Engineering Program? I haven't.
Is that like
One
a
of
band
them
or
is-
something?
One of them, they're doing a lie detector test, which is hilarious.
That could be very dangerous.
I think they'll be responsible about it, or maybe not. I just want
We'll
them to hook
see,
up
dude.
Mars. I just want them to hook up Mars and say, "Does Zero Suit really suck?" That's all I want to know. 'Cause we all know what would happen.
Damn, honestly,
my
that
God.
is actually kind of good.
I
The
donated
Summit-
to the.
Yeah.
I think I donated to the talent show.
Well, that got
Talent
funded
show.
for sure.
It's a fun
Oh
incentive.
God, dude. Oh
Lie
God.
Detector's funded, Talent Show's funded, and Ping
Oh,
Pong is
fuck.
funded.
Yo,
Wait,
that's
what?
hype.
What's that other one?
Ping Pong, Crew Battle
Oh.
style or something.
Oh, okay.
What is Control Mind Melds? Let me see what this is. Oh, okay. That's not that hype, honestly.
What is
One,
it?
one person has a Joy-Con and another person has another Joy-Con, and then they mind meld. All right, and then there's a singles pop bonus, which looks like it's pretty much raised. Oh, Oh, never mind. There's no percent on that. That's just gravy.
I
That's
was just
crazy.
saying, I think it's just whatever
Yeah.
whatever the people put in.
Well,
for it.
anyways, that's a lot of money. Is all I was getting at.
Yeah.
It's dope.
That is
And
actually
I'm
very cool.
definitely gonna buy more merch because that like some of that stuff is like super crisp.
Yeah,
Time around has been popping.
They definitely listened to the feedback from last summit for sure in terms of the feedback
Yeah,
if I
so we'll see
remember
how-
correctly, last,
in the merchandise. Sorry.
yeah, last summit's merchandise, I remember a lot of people got really loud about it being not even like bad, but just plain. And
Yeah.
usually people don't pop off for Smash apparel one way or the other, but I remember being like very loud for some reason.
Plant gang, baby.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like the how like the Smash streetwear has like evolved. It's like now I can like wear this shit to like parties and stuff, and like I
Yeah.
don't look like a total.
It's
neat-
not just a video game character on shirt.
Yeah, I,
Even
I
if something-
definitely yeah. I prefer a subtle approach to my gaming merchandise for
You
sure.
got it, dude.
I don't want to I don't know, man.
Dude, speaking.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta let the crew know you're an epic gamer.
Plant gang. That's the one. Plant gang. That shirt would make me uncomfortable if I wore it in public. Like if they got the reference or if they didn't, I'm feeling uncomfortable about wearing that shirt in public.
I like the Isabel shirt just because it's like an actual Shih Tzu. I just find that like very funny.
They had a lot of Isabel stuff actually, which I thought was interesting because that character is beyond irrelevant.
Hey, listen, she works hard, man.
I like her a lot. I think she's an adorable character. Like, I think she's a cool addition to the cast, but she's just like nobody plays as her. The sandbag stuff's cool.
I love the crew neck. I need to get that with my next paycheck. So
Kirby
one?
one? Oh,
yeah, I think it's like this. It's like a sandbag.
Yeah.
oh, it's
Like
a sandbag.
crew
Yeah, my bad. I thought that was Kirby.
Come on, Chris.
I'm sorry.
Showing your
God.
boomer side again. Chris.
Hey,
Boomer ZX
What
making
is-
it.
you watch your
What is
dirty
that? A
whore mouth.
Nintendo?
Yeah, what are you guys playing there? Nintendo? I
Boomer
used to
ZX
play
might be my
Nintendo.
Boomer ZX might be my new addiction this season. Just saying.
Dude,
Oh, that reminds me. I never told you guys about the cat.
Oh yeah. So before we go on to our next topic, let's talk about the ongoing saga of Frank and the cat that just happens to live at his job.
Can I get a
All right.
TLDR? Okay, that's the story. There's a cat at work.
There's a cat that I feed, and I thought it was deaf. So
Okay.
that's one of the big revelations is that the cat is not deaf. The cat's just an asshole. And I
Nice.
found out that I'm not the only one in this lot feeding the cat because my neighbors have a food bowl with the cat.
dude, so
Oh,
she
wow.
that cat's just using you. That's kind of whack.
These hoes ain't loyal, and I'm so pissed.
Not only that, but he feigned a physical, he feigned being deaf to get food. That's emotional manipulation. This cat is a psychopath.
I thought the cat was just, deaf, so I always had to wave at it or show it canned
The
food.
cat.
But no, it
Yeah,
was
the-
just ignoring me
the
like
neighbors
an
wa-
asshole.
The neighbors walk out, and the cat had been playing blind with them, so it saw both of you, and it had no idea which one.
It just froze.
Yeah, it's like which thing do I go with here?
Oh my god.
I'm just devastated.
Meanwhile, the raccoon lyrics.
Yeah, there's still the raccoon on the premises that we have to worry about.
I like raccoons, man. They're no bullshit. They're not gonna try to fool you. We
No.
all know
Nah,
what the
Fat
deal
Boy
is.
got me in trouble last week. We don't fuck with Fat Boy anymore.
Yeah, he just. Dude, they just want
I
to
knew
raid
how
your
it-
garbage can. That's it. They just want
I
your
knew a
garbage-
girl in high school that had a pet raccoon for like 3 months. It was very weird.
Ooh.
What happened to it?
I don't know.
Just goes,
That's a problem.
Ooh.
It got a job and it moved out. I actually don't know what happened to it, to be honest with you.
He's
I
like,
mean,
I-
obviously they couldn't fucking keep it. It's a raccoon.
raccoon's like, all right,
It's not a domestic. Yeah,
I
it's not a
miss
domestic
Frizz. I'm about to head out.
pet.
All right. Speaking of heading out, if you're not heading out to Battle for the East this weekend, you're probably going to the other big tournament this weekend in Dearborn, Michigan.
That sounds right.
I think it's in Dearborn. Someone will correct me on that.
Oh wait, I can tell you right
Oh.
now. Actually, it's.
I have it open. Yeah.
Oh, it's
At least it's not
it's
Detroit.
in Detroit. It's in Detroit.
God damn it.
Oh, it's in Detroit.
Is this the second major that's in Detroit? Isn't Wasn't there another one in Detroit? Was it Frostbite?
Yeah, Frostbite moved to Detroit
Dude,
last year.
Midwest silently has like the biggest tournaments because these are like I don't know. Is Big House Nintendo sponsored? Because I know Frostbite is. I wouldn't be surprised if Big House was.
I don't recall off the top of my head if it is or not.
I think Frostbite was. I'm pretty sure Frostbite
Definitely
Yeah.
Frostbite.
was. Okay.
I don't know about Big House, so I wouldn't be surprised. This is apparently the ninth year of this, so and it's popular every year, at least for the past several.
Yeah, like even like how like the growing state of Super Smash Brothers has like extended like far and and wide. Big House still remains as like one of the tournaments on the Mount Rushmore of like Smash events.
It has
like-
a very storied past in the Smash scene.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely far more on the Melee side. Like when I think of Big House, I think of Melee, and then I think of that one time Seagull Joe beat Zero.
Remember Seagull Joe on the Disney Channel? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
That was the best.
defeated by Seagull Joe.
No, I think it was it was defeated. Oh, yeah, that was either way, man. That was the best. Who submitted those? That's what I need to know. Who submitted the notes for? Actually, I'm just gonna tweet and ask right now.
It had to have been somebody in the know, man. 'Cause that's
Definitely,
like-
definitely. Oh, dude, I bet you it was Gimmer.
Oh, that would have
'Cause-
been funny.
'cause who would bring up Seagull Joe?
There's no one else who would care about such a random win.
Well, because
No,
I
That's-
might bring
that's
up
true.
because if someone asked me, I might bring up some random New England fact just cause. You know what I mean? Like just to toss a bone home to the boys.
But I think back into that Big House in general is very strange to my knowledge because Seagull beat Zero and didn't get top 8. I think Vinny made top 8 at that tournament. Zenu made top 8 at that tournament.
Oh,
What else happened? Habadongo lost to Anti's Luigi in Pac-Man vs. Luigi. It was awful. That one famous clip of Anti laddering Zero to beat him became came to fruition. I think Anti also used like Wii Fit Trainer or some like weird ass fucking character in top 8. Like
It
That whole
just sounds like a
topic-
stable of dark horses.
yeah,
Why don't I remember this?
yeah, dude, that tournament was weird. I watched like a large chunk of it at work, and that's where Nairo lost to Zero in 2 sets in grands, where Nairo went Meta Knight and Robin, I believe, in winner's side of bracket. So
well,
He
there-
loves Robin, man. That's been his go-to. Like, oh shit, I don't know what character to go for. Like, then Smash 4.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
his bottom bitch. I didn't have a better word for bitch. It just came out.
she's
anyway.
like Robin is
How
like
do you-
chicken
I'm
I'm so
fingers
spell
at
it?
a
sorry.
Robin
I respect
Nuke
women.
Mod,
I do. I swear.
okay.
Don't say I swear. That
My best
sounds
friends
like
are
God.
women.
Oh god.
Yeah,
have-
Boomer,
God.
Chris,
That's-
please.
I'm just.
I think he knows what he's doing. Maybe
I know
he's a
it.
self-aware boomer.
That's the worst kind. Yes. Anyway, so
yeah.
enough
Anyways.
talking about that Big House.
Sorry.
Let's move on to the, as I try to rein it back in, we get back to the current Big House, and this just got a lot more interesting because the big story going in the Big House was, Sam Sora not getting in the Summit, and if he could win Big House to do it, because Leo isn't going. So that could have been like, okay, like he can definitely do that because like he's beaten Tweak, and I don't know if him and Mars has played this season, but that's always a very close set to watch. So yeah, but now the pressure is completely off as we brought it off pod, but the top 6 seeds of the tournament have all made it into Summit. So now it gets really interesting on the lower end.
So that's what I was gonna say. Is like, there's obviously no shortage of talent. Like, Big House always draws it in. Like, if there's one thing that they do, because like I was looking at the seeding, and I don't know. There's obviously seedings like always comes up as an issue. I would say primarily we're hearing about a lot of like repeat matches happening. Like basically like even like your Salem's versus Lethin, like basically always being seeded to occur. Apparently in this tournament, Wishes, who's seeded 37th, is like seeded to play Puppe. It's just like it's interesting, and it makes me wonder about the seeding in general because like I don't know, even just seeing like Wishes at 37 seeded and seeing like people, I don't know, like nothing against Suarez or like Nick C or Salt One even, but it just seems weird because now you're talking about a PGR player who's top 30 or what's he 20 what's Justin 20?
21, I believe.
Yeah. So
Has,
yeah, and
has
then
he had a good season so far?
like
I
best
don't
Nessa.
really know,
Well,
honestly.
he got what? He got
His
ninth.
season's
At,
been like,
he-
he got 13th at Glitch. He got like
Okay.
25th at Shine. He's had like a middle of the road like type season, but he's also been playing a lot of Joker. So like,
but like
Okay,
you know,
that's right. Okay.
yeah. But I'm just like I don't like what's like Cosmos been doing this season because even he's a good example for me just because I know he's had a couple like rough outings in his time. It's just like I don't know. It seems very erratic, and I'm not sure if it is because they want to see certain players play. I wouldn't be surprised, or if it's just like I don't know.
yeah,
Brag-
there's definitely like it's definitely a combination of like what's gonna attract the most views, like and also like I guess recency bias is what goes into a lot of this. Like that's like the big culprits for me, but I don't know. Maybe they'll fix it before the tournament's over, but considering it we're
I'm even Jackal's
played-
actually over Wishes too. That's interesting.
well, I mean that makes sense because I
Oh,
think
I guess
shoot-
recent. Yeah, he's
yeah,
been, he's
if
been
we're
on.
going by the recency bias,
Yeah.
Sure.
then like that makes a whole bunch of sense.
That does
Jackal-
make
Jackal's-
sense.
He's been popping the fuck off. Man.
Mr. E's been pretty good recently too, so I'd buy that.
Yep.
Mr. E's kind
I
of been
think
on
once
fire.
once you hit like that range, like the 15 to like 30, like top 64, like once you hit like 30 to top 64, I feel like you could argue a lot of different ways.
That's
Honestly,
true. That's honestly
That's
very
actually
true.
what that's what Seth said when we had him on the podcast, where it's like when you seed like that low into the bracket, you're seeding like the same group of people because all those people technically tie for the same spot. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Because even like Venya, I would argue to say is lower seeded compared to like his New York companions above him. But like I don't know, man. I'm definitely not a TO or someone who seeds tournaments, so it's hard for me to say. All I could say is I'm happy I don't have to do that.
it's a pain in the ass, and there's literally no perfect way to do it. There's no way to seed a bracket unless it's a very small bracket. There's no way to seed a big bracket and make everybody happy with the outcome. Like it's literally impossible. It's literally a fool's errand. There's no
Isn't
way.
it-
That's true.
that was a hot topic on New England Smash Twitter last night about
Yeah.
seeding.
Yeah, that was silly nonsense. But New England has currently one of the things that people like to do is do poorly in a tournament and then complain about the seeding. Like it's just I don't. It's silly fucking nonsense. Basically, is how I feel about it. So
Yeah, I went 0-2. I demand to be seeded to go 0-3.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
You see the one I retweeted where someone was like, "Oh, I got literally seeded last and I went 0-2. I'm gonna view this as a good learning experience, and I got to play some good players." And I was like, "Wow, that is exactly fucking correct. That is exactly how you feel about this. Like
Yep.
you got seeded last, you went 0-2, but you were happy that you got to play. Because if you get seeded last, you're gonna play someone good early on. Like that's just how it's
Yeah.
gonna work. Like the bottom seed plays someone good.
I've purposely had James seed me to play him every round 2 at Platinum Star ever, and I always lose my round 1 because I'm trash buckets. But one of these days, the upset's coming. And he's not gonna know it.
he's not
Like,
gonna be ready for you.
Yeah, he's gonna feel really stupid when I pop off on his face.
You're a
Pause.
real dumb kid.
Yeah.
Pause for the occasion,
Probably
of
shouldn't.
course.
I apologize for my choice of word there.
But,
You guys
lost
are
it
all
for a
over the
second.
place. Chris said the B word.
I'm
This
so sorry.
podcast- This podcast is a mess.
I'm so sorry.
Nuke the VODs.
Two of you are already canceled, so that's not good.
Dude,
Oh, boy.
I feel like everyone's a little bit cancelable, you know. But then you just got to use your reasoning to be like, you know, is it really cancelable? So I would hope the people would really think about it. Although I really have no hope for that at all. But I want to think that they would. Like, oh, this
Oh,
guy's he's just
man.
too cool, man. We need to have him around. So he says some terrible things sometimes. It's okay.
Chris's arms are too big. We gotta get rid of them.
So is this already an S tier, by the way? Because it looks like it should be.
I believe so.
It
Yes.
has to be, man. There's like 1,000 entrants. All the main like top 10 dudes are there. Like it's got to be.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it wasn't. And you know, we talked about it a little bit before about like the unseeded players who are, or like the non summit people that are in the running. And I think you mentioned DeBuzz and Meister and a couple of other people, Matt.
Yeah, so I have it open. So the top 6 seeds are already into Summit, and that's Samsora, Mars, Nairo, Tweak, Light, and Esam. Everyone, I'm very happy that they're going to Summit 2. Very entertaining personalities, great players, yada, 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 all that good shit. After that, the front runners are DeBuzz, of course. No surprise there, DeBuzz. You can never count him out. Shutan, Meister, Dark Wizzy, Elegant, Void, who already made it into Summit. Zachary is 13th, which is interesting. I do feel like that's fair, though. I feel like he's kind of had some lackluster results recently. He did have a 6 set last weekend, though.
I actually
second-
forgot he was at main stage. To be
Yeah, he got like 13th or something. That's the thing is like people are talking shit about Armada. Like, does he really deserve to go to Summit? I saw a few posts like that. Not a lot, just a couple. And I was like, shut the fuck up, because he got 17th at main stage, which is an S tier tournament, which is better than like a lot of people in the fucking world can do.
That's pretty
Like,
good. Like getting
that's really
17th
fucking
for
good.
like a
That's
guy who played
really good.
Melee for a lot of years. Like absolutely, man.
He's fucking good at Smash Ultimate. I played him at the first Summit, and I was very impressed with how quickly he learned shit. Like while I was playing him, because I played characters he didn't know. Like he didn't know at that time Ken wasn't buffed yet, so no one knew how to fight Ken. But like if you played Smash 4, you had an idea, because you played against Ryu in Smash 4, and they're kind of similar. But obviously Armada's never seen a fucking character like Ken. In the first game I beat him. Second game was close, and then by the third and fourth game he was winning pretty handedly, which I was very impressed by, because that's a complicated character. But his game, like he's fucking good, is what I'm saying. Like he definitely deserves it.
He
The
still
man's
plays
nice.
solo.
I believe so. Yes, which fits him perfectly.
Where it uses default costumes though, therefore, just want to bring that out there.
Which what?
If you, I have this theory, a game theory, if you may, that if you use default costumes, you are a cop.
Oh shit, that's me.
Well, sorry, man. Hate to break it to you.
It's all good.
Nuke the VOD, Matt's a cop.
I know. Yeah.
Matt's Mafia.
Yeah. Not again,
Gosh.
dude. Not again. Damn it, that was
Yo, man,
the worst.
I'm down as fuck. Just saying.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Phrase
man.
is cursed.
Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like you said, all those people that like could make it in are gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be funny when like because the seeding for at least like the top half of like Smash things has all been like pretty solid. So like, so it's gonna be funny to see like the top 8 are gonna be people that like had already made it in the Summit, and like whoever gets like 9th place is gonna make it in.
Yeah.
Like I want pure anarchy, like for the spot right now. Is Salem going to Big House?
Yes.
Yep,
yeah. I
he'll
was
be
just gonna
there.
bring him
Yep.
up.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's probably my bet for like who's probably gonna get the spot. If I'm being honest.
Ooh,
Wow, you think-
I think Shuton's the safest bet, honestly. Shuton I feel like DeBuzz has been eating some upsets lately, which is very surprising for DeBuzz. Or at least like he's still eating like
Nowadays it is.
yeah, but he's still eating a below average amount of upsets compared to other top players. But for DeBuzz, it feels like a lot.
Well, there's
I
all
feel like-
there's all the compilation of DeBuzz getting popped off on. Like it says it all. Man.
It just
you ever
keeps getting worse, man.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the Mutace one, oof.
Did he just popped off on DeBuzz?
No, he didn't. That's a
No,
joke.
he literally stood up
it
and
was
took
it was the dead. That's right. That is very funny. I was like, no fucking way to Mutace, and I was like, oh, you're right. Yeah, he definitely actually didn't. So that's cool. I would have been very surprised if Mutace popped up on DeBuzz.
Dude, I just want the like. I feel bad for the Buzz because the pop-ups just like they keep getting like bigger and like more
Yeah.
extravagant.
I don't know. Riddle set the precedent pretty. Like he set the bar pretty fucking high.
Fun fact: Riddle's pop-off lasted the entirety of Wadi versus PK Chris' set at Super Smash Con.
Whoa.
Oh god,
Wow, that's a
That
PG
is-
stat
yeah.
if I've ever seen one.
that's a
Whoa,
good ass
man.
stat right there.
That's so funny. Dude, honestly, if Shuton makes it in the Summit, that would make for like the ultimate content because you can have him like IRL daring off of a Pikmin. Like,
Yeah.
just think of the possibilities. That's dope.
I'd like him. I think Meister has a very, very, very good chance as well.
I agree.
Who else?
Dark Wizzy obviously is another
yeah,
one.
of
Like
course.
Wizzy's got like back-to-back S tier top 8s, so like
Yeah.
definitely prime for the pickings.
Yeah, he definitely could. I got to look at what his bracket is projected because the matchups are such a big deal for him. So he could fall into losers early if he wins a tough matchup. So,
If you look closer, you can see Scat and Larry scared for their lives as they inch their chairs away.
I love that.
Dude, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, good game. Fucking Richter's on the screen.
I know, Richter. I love that winning pose too. It's so good.
I like the Rondo blood pose.
Oh
I
yeah,
am-
of
That's a-
course, man.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
one of the best win screens in the game.
Dude, it's just like so. Like, what's the consensus for like if you're being popped off on? Like, is it like when you're like waiting for your professor to show up in class? Like, if the person who beats you does not show up within like 15 minutes of like the pop off, like, can you just like leave?
DeBuzz is a fucking champion for sitting there together. Like honestly, that is like that was too much. Like honestly, I love Riddles. I think he's great. He's a good kid. He's an amazing player. Has a great character combination. But I think like if DeBuzz had gotten up and walked away like halfway through, I wouldn't have cared. I would have been like, wow, DeBuzz is a sore loser. I would have been like, that was a little bit excessive. But the kid was excited. You know what I mean? So I think
Yeah,
it's like a combo. Like Riddles is allowed to pop off for that long, and that's fine and cool. But I don't think DeBuzz is expected to sit there and take it for that long. Like that was a lot, dude. That was a long fucking time. That was like extended DVD extended, like Blu-ray, double-sided.
It's like when you're like waiting for your professor to show up in college, and like after 15 minutes, you were like allowed to leave because it's not an excuse absence or something like that.
I Miss Frizz. I'm about to head out.
I'm out.
Literally what
I'm
it
out.
is.
Yeah, exactly.
so
I
funny.
think that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like because like if you look at what happened when he like lost, wasted no time just getting up and leaving.
Wait, for which pop off? You
Like when
kinda-
when Nico beat him and like he like extends for the fist bump and then realizes that Nico's having like a conniption and then he leaves.
That's because Nico looked like he was channeling his mana.
Dude,
Oh,
that was
yeah. Forever.
Shit.
that was definitely quite the pop off.
Did you know that I once watched Nico kill Riz with Monado Purge at like 50?
Ugh.
It was what, dude. It was. I'll never forget the day. It was like SmashCon like 2017, and like Riz Nico's at like 1,000,000% and Riz is at like 30 something. He gets Monado Purge with like the jump and like just dies, and like you can see the room collectively like all of our jaws just drop at once. We're just like he's dead. Yeah, but Big House is gonna be fun. Big House always has like, it's always a fun tournament to watch. Like we said, the history on the Melee side is fantastic, and you know on the Ultimate side of things, it's gonna be fun to watch. I forget, was the last Smash 4 Big House the one where Mars got second?
It was the
Or-
one that last Big House didn't Cosmos win?
Did he?
Whoa.
I don't remember. Was that the one?
That was Cosmos ESAM, if I remember correctly. No, wait, no. Or was it Cosmos Mars?
No, it would have been the Buzz Mars. Am I thinking of the wrong Big House?
You're thinking of a previous one, because I know DeBuzz is a past Big House champion, but he wasn't the last one.
Oh, no, you might be right. I think you might be right.
The only reason I recall as such is quite vividly. I was watching Big House on one of the projectors at Aeon, and I was like the only person in the room who cared about it because we were right on the verge of Ultimate stuff. Like everyone was very done with Smash 4, and everyone was just waiting, just literally counting the seconds for a ROM to leak.
Did he win with Corin? Yeah, no, it was Cosmos because Cosmos ESAM, Tweak third, Yeti fourth, SDX, Dark Shad, Elegant, Salem.
I forgot that end of Smash 4 era where like Yeti and STX were at every tournament.
Yeah,
copied,
dude.
like every single tournament.
Yeti
They
was
were so
winning
sick.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh.
SDX.
Yeah, and SDX. You're right.
Oh wait, was that the Big House that Yeti beat Salem and it was like a huge like fucking like earth shattering moment?
Probably because Salem was still playing Bayonetta and Yeti was Mega Man.
I think he went Toon Link against Salem. If I'm
Oh,
correct.
you might be right.
He was
Yeah.
mostly Toon Link, I believe, in Smash 4.
Yeah, God, what a character combination.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's still
lucky-
playing
he's
Toon
lucky
Link
he's a
in this
really
game,
cool
just not
guy.
as much.
He plays Snake in this game on the side too, right?
He does.
Yeah, it's mostly Snake Mega Man, but his Toon Link's made appearances, and I know he's played a couple of other random zoning characters like Wii Fit and
Pac-Man.
Yes, Pac-Man makes more appearances more recently than not. Basically, if there's a character that you could see someone chucking a controller over after playing Wi-Fi, I'm sure Yeti plays it to some level of proficiency.
It's weird he doesn't have a Belmont.
I was just thinking that.
I think
Maybe
they're
he does, but we don't know about
Could
it.
I think
be.
they're too lame for him, which is really really interesting.
That would be something. But yeah, so that's it for Big House. So who's your guys' who do you guys think is gonna win the tournament and who do you think is gonna get the spot?
Okay.
Yeah, you go
Who wants,
first.
who wants to go first?
I don't know about win the tournament. I have some players that I have my eye on. So if I had to put money down on who is going to get the spot, I would put it on. I'd put it on DeBuzz. I think he's going to try super duper. I know he's the #1 seed in terms of getting the spot, but I think he's going to try really, really fucking hard. And when he tries hard, he's nearly unbeatable. So I would definitely give it to DeBuzz. I think people you want to keep your eyes on though are Kept, by the way, is entering this tournament.
Yeah.
If you guys know who he is.
Yep.
Bless kept.
Mhm.
He's got the
Incredible.
coolest shirt, man.
What does he have?
He has like a dad shirt with like bowling ball pins on it. It's like so funny.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. Kept is definitely probably my number one person I'm interested to see how he does. Also on that list is Joker, the Samus main from SoCal.
Yeah, the one that beat James
Yes.
earlier this month or
Just-
last month.
Just really solid Samus play, and then randomly ultra technical and just turns it on. Like I don't know, like just a player I'm definitely interested who could beat some of these top 10 seeds for sure. So those are my picks, I guess, for like who I'm most interested in watching and who I think might do well.
Okay, let me think here. I obviously like my bet is on like one of the top 4 seeds like doing really well. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Sam won the tournament, if Mars won a tournament, if Tweak won the tournament, or if Nairo won. Like I'm willing to put my money on any of those 4. Especially like Mars and Tweak because they're definitely due right now. As for like who I think is gonna get the summit spot, I think it's gonna be either Dark Wizzy or Salem, just because they're like very consistent, and I just feel like the Buzz might be on like the wrong end of an upset somewhere, or like have to play one of them to get in the top 8. I don't know exactly know what his bracket path is, but I don't know. I'm just going. If I had to like, if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably say Wizzy, just because he's been like ultra consistent. But yeah. How about you, Frank?
So every bone in my body wants to say DeBuzz because I'm friends with him, and I believe that when he truly wants to camp and make someone suffer, he can make it happen. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I want to see Dark Wizzy win, only because every single interaction I've had with him for the past 4 months has exclusively been me reminding him to camp, and watching him become an even campier been complete bliss. And I want that to amount to something for him because he needs a big win. Like the kid's got the passion for it, and it would be nice if like something showed for it.
Yeah, when you look at like Wizzy's resume this season, it's like a fringe top. I think he's in the fringe for a top 10 player right now. But I think if he like continues well the rest of the year, I think there's no doubt in my mind he's a top 10 player.
Dude,
Yeah.
Wizzy's good, man. I sort of think I am actually kind of interested to see how Elegant plays in a tournament like this because he's like on the low, been consistently good. Like he's been turning up, dude. I don't know if you guys have been watching him recently, but jeez.
Definitely. Have you heard about his secondary?
I didn't know what is
No.
his secondary.
It's a fox.
Oh,
Which
that's
is kind of-
terrifying.
It's like
That's
a
scary.
very mobile character. He's used to a shitty recovery, so who cares? He's already ready for that. Especially Luigi in this game, especially it's even worse.
It's worse.
So he's got a fox, and the way he plays the game and the way he looks at the game, that could be a really, really scary, secondary for him.
He's been really turning up recently. As you know, I'm in agreement with pretty much all of you guys on Dark Wizzy. He definitely has been going through some sort of like foundational changes where I feel like he's pulling out a lot of wins where he wasn't. He's basically edging out a lot of sets that he wouldn't have before. But as far as like the last spot in Big House goes, yeah, I don't know. Like it would be cool to see like some like international presence there, like Shuton or Meister. I mean, they're both plenty capable, obviously, based off their seed. Like, yeah, I
I don't want to like forget about like Jackal or Wishes because like either of those guys can pop off too. Like I said, like if the seeds shake out to where like like the 7 or 8 people that are already going to Summit like make it into Summit and like all you need is 9th place. Jackal's got 9th place with 2 straight S tiers.
Yeah,
so,
and I mean Justin or Wishes has done that a ton. I actually think Tweak will win the tournament. Tweak boys.
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. It could go a bunch of different ways, and it's exciting. Like whoever gets the spot, it's gonna be someone that like you probably weren't expecting in the first place, and I dig that. Like this is one of the first summits. Like just going back to it real quick, where like it feels like a lot of the people that are supposed to be there are there, because like that's always a huge complaint about Summit is that, and people always bring it up too. Like if the best players always got into Summit, then like it'd be the same like 12 people every time. So like. This is the first time where like I feel like if you're looking at the chalk of things, like, there's not like I said, if the outliers are Fang, it's like that's okay, that makes sense.
I think similar to Melee, like there should just be like a set core of people who are a combination amazing players, but very entertaining and very committed to the scene as well. Like in Melee, they pretty much always had the 5 gods there, pretty much every time. And I think if we had a similar thing in Ultimate, which right now would be like Leo, Samsora, Nairo, Mars, Tweak, some core group like that. I think that would be totally fine. Honestly, I don't think anyone would complain if well, Tweak and Leo did get invited, to be fair. Like they got invited without any sort of tryout or anything. And then Mars, Nairo, and that whole next batch of people right there just had to get basically top 8 at main stage, which is an expected result for them anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's guaranteed or anything, but yeah, it was looking good for them going into main stage.
Yep. And so that's it for Big House. It's gonna be a fun time to watch again. It's always a fun spectator event, and so I'm looking forward to see how things shake out. But
you're working, you're not watching.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say, if you're not going to Big House and you just happen to live in Atlantic City or in the southern Jersey area, may I recommend going to Battle for the East this weekend? Whereas 3 out of the 4 people in the call are gonna be one person's gonna be playing Classic WoW and watching baseball all weekend. Spoiler, it's Chris.
Come on, Chris. Get it together.
I'm sorry, guys.
You're better than being a WoW addict. Come on, man. We left that shit in 2004.
All this boomer behavior. I'm sorry. I can't help myself.
Classic WoW really is peak boomer game though.
It
like
really
it is so
dude.
bad, dude.
Wait till Master Chief Collection comes out, and that's all you're playing is that in WoW Classic.
I'm probably gonna I think I brought this up when we talked about this last time, Matt. But when I think of myself playing WoW or a game I'm really into, I think of the episode of South Park where they focus on World of Warcraft.
The guy with the arm cast, that's me right now.
Cartman gets really fat. He just sits in the chair.
With the pimples and stuff. Yeah. The way they drew them or animated them sitting in the chairs all slouched over and shit is so funny.
Dude, that episode was amazing, and as far as using the gameplay of World of Warcraft for the actual,
it was horribly inaccurate to how the game's actually played, but okay, we'll let it slide.
Oh, well,
actually,
yeah. Lord. So I figured this would be kind of a fun, open-ended conversation we have this weekend, because Battle for the East is this weekend, and the entrant count, albeit a little bit lower than I think we all would have liked to be. And it brings up an interesting conversation that I wanted to have about how important a location to a tournament is to how successful it is. Because let's be real, Smash people are really bad when it comes to travel plans. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I've heard horror stories of people trying to organize going to events and stuff like that. Every time I talk to Jackal about going to the Midwest, he gives me some sort of horror story about what happened to him.
Oh god.
So I just wanted to kind of ask the question because I've been to a handful of tournaments in Atlantic City, and I just feel the big casino environment just isn't as big of a draw as it used to be, unless it's Evo or something like that. I don't know how you guys feel.
The casino, that whole thing, the whole let's go to a city with lots of gambling and nightclubs is that's the real boomers, that's a boomer setting. Actually. And it's just not appealing to a younger generation, man. Not only do you have to be old enough to do certain things, and we're generally talking about a demographic that's split in age, it's just I don't know. The things that are attractive in an Atlantic City as far as gambling and even just watching sports, all that stuff eludes this entire generation of younger people. It just does. And the area itself just isn't really as nice as it used to be ever since online gambling became a thing. People don't really go there, so it's not highly populated. They actually it's not a casino anymore. It's just a hotel. The Showboat, where Battle for the East was actually bought around the time Royal Flush happened in Atlantic City, which I guess, what's that, 2016?
2016.
Yeah, so around that time, it was bought by this dude who basically wanted to make it a huge, the building basically dedicated to gaming stuff. He wanted to put in he basically had this whole planned out thing about having a sake bar and hibachi anime section in the bottom with all these gaming arcades next to it, and then he wanted yes, precisely. He wanted escape rooms and the upper floors. He just wanted to make this whole center. And I'm just dude, no one's coming here in masses for this stuff. So, and sure enough, years later, none of that happened because exactly the thing I just said. No one's going there.
Yeah.
So now it's just like this big room or this big building that just has like a lot of open space. There's not a lot of people there. I mean, it's got this tournament in there, but even the tournament, I think, is like maybe a total of 300 people, which will use like a very small fraction of that entire hotel. But basically what I'm getting at is, yeah, location is important. It doesn't even necessarily matter where you're located as far as it matters like what kind of building you're in. Because I think before the call, Koopa, you were mentioning even Shine got the downgrade in location, and it greatly affected essentially how people thought of the tournament. And then you have things like Smash and Splash, which is at a water park, like kind of resort, and that does really well because it's a resort made for people to like come out and have like a good time. You don't have to like improvise your good time. There's just like a set agenda. So yeah, I mean, it makes a massive difference, man.
I think I think we're kind of all on the same page here, where I think not necessarily where you are matters, right? Like if you're in a grand ballroom, like that's pretty cool, right? Like you walk in, that's a cool novelty. But if all they have there, if they don't have enough friendly setups, if they only have one stream and it's running behind, no one's gonna give a fuck that you're in a really extravagant, cool place. People would rather be in like a warehouse type settings with tons of friendly setups with a lot of stuff to do. I think it's not necessarily about where you are or the quality. Well, obviously it needs to be like safe and like, you know, all the basic shit needs to be covered. But I think the more important thing is what's going on at the event, because Super Smash Con, you could argue, isn't really near anything. It's not near any like big city or anything interesting outside of, you know, the convention center itself, but it has good, decent fast food in the area, good place to get coffee, all that good stuff, but then also a ton to do because it's a con and not just a tournament. So I think it's what is more important than where, if that makes any sense. But I do think location can be a big selling point, because we definitely saw a lot of people complain about Worcester, especially when you take away something. You know, Boston, in my opinion, obviously is one of the best cities in the world. It's beautiful. It truly is. It's a beautiful city. It's amazing, but it's goddamn expensive. So, you know, Shine trying to become more lucrative, try to do more, get more for their money basically, and move to Worcester. People really felt it after they went from Boston to the sister city Worcester, which is, you know, not considered as, you know, as impressive as Boston, and it isn't.
Yeah. From what I've been able to just gather so far is that like I look at events like Smash and Splash, which when you actually think about like the initial like Smash and Splash, like a lot of these tournaments that are successful kind of grow organically, like venue wise with their tournaments. Because like I look at the first Smash and Splash, it was in some like, you know, like I forget what water park. It was in a water park somewhere in the
It's
Midwest.
like someone's tub.
Yeah, that one.
It's a
All that
jacuzzi.
skit,
Come on.
yeah, that one. All that skit with Keenan Thompson in the bathtub speaking French.
Nice.
That's
Great
where
skit.
yeah, it's so funny. So that's where the first Smash and Splash was. But I think in like subsequent years, it moved up to the Kalahari or something like that. So like
Yeah, that's right.
and, yeah, if you've ever been to Kalahari, like the Kalahari is like it's a fucking literally a zoo. Like there's animals.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
it's crazy. So I went to an anime convention at the Kalahari. There's baby tigers. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
so
that
like,
again is a tournament that takes place in the middle of nowhere. But since it's in a cool place or you have a lot you could do,
you're willing to go there.
Exactly. Well, but interestingly enough, another variable added into that this year was the way the tournament was ran, and like the problems they ran into in running a bracket format and trying all that stuff out. It affected people's experiences, and they might not, you know, come back regardless of the fact that it's at a water park, because their experience was affected by how the bracket was run or the format or what have you.
Sure, yeah.
So that, yeah.
And I also look at it like because I think of Shine and if I'm being real, like Worcester wasn't as bad as the city. Be like my big concern when I go to a tournament is like how late do the food spots stay open, and like how safely can I park my car without having to worry about like, you know, dying. And both of those things were like very easily solved with copious amounts of sangria and guacamole. But yeah, like because I think of it this way, I'm like, what if Shine like worked in reverse, where like for its first 2 years it was in Worcester and then it moved up into Boston proper? Because like the big problem you had with having it at the seaport is that the prices were insane, and like, you know, but like obviously at the same time you take what's given to you, because like a lot of tournaments, if they want to get established, you kind of have to like make the big splash and shine. Like, you know, for those 2 years in Boston, were like I obviously had a great time this year, but those 2 years in Boston were magnificent in regards to like location and like just like the general stuff to do and with like how late everything stayed open. Like, so I don't know. I definitely think like I feel like some places just kind of want to like they jump the buck a little bit, especially for like these upstart tournaments with like, you know, you don't really know what you're going to expect, and I feel like they try to make the big splash with the location.
Mhm.
But sometimes, like you said, with Atlantic City, like if you look at the demographic of people that go to your events, like they're not going to be able to get their most bang for their buck. Like
You're right.
boomers like me and Chris, we're going to be able to get our bang for our buck because we can trip on the sidewalk and find a place to watch a football game and get wasted on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I don't know. It's yeah, it was kind of sometimes you depend on the location to basically carry the tournament and then the money, but yeah, just it's tricky, man. There's just so much more to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables, I think, is what we're kind of falling into, because if the tournament is in a really cool place, that's great, but it's not the main driving factor. I feel like everyone loved it being in Boston, but could you Shine being in Boston, but could you really justify, you know, the cost at the end of the day, so that people
absolutely not.
so that people could take a selfie with a lobster roll that they paid $40 for? You know
Oh,
what I
God,
mean? Like,
at least.
it's just it's
I think
tough,
I paid
man.
36 for the one that I got.
Dude, I
that
hate
one
that they're
year.
so expensive. They're so good.
But it makes sense because dude, you're getting like half a pound of lobster meat. Like it's you're getting a lot. You got to think of it as like, if that was regular lobster, it like checks out. It's just, you know,
Yeah,
you're putting it on
yeah.
a piece of bread. It's like a sandwich, and you're. All right, I don't need to justify the lobster roll. Whatever, bro. If you don't want one, you don't have to get one. All right.
I think my friend got one from McDonald's when we went to Boston. It was scary.
There was a lobster roll at McDonald's.
Yeah. What? Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
my friend said he found one at McDonald's.
Is that
an
like
option at a McDonald's?
Is that like the McRib? It just travels around and goes to like certain locations.
Just Boston.
It's the McLobster.
Just when the Red Sox are in the World Series.
Oh
That
God,
is something.
then it could stop.
So
Yeah, so
the thing
here's
is, but like the location can be good though, because like tell me, this is like if there was like a beach tournament in this area that it wouldn't just kill because people just like in the summer, you know what I mean?
hell
Like,
yeah,
like,
like a Jersey Shore tournament. That'd be.
I don't
super
know,
fun.
man. Because at the end of the day, I feel like most tournament goers just want to go and fucking sit inside and play Smash for 10 hours.
well, you're
a
right,
day.
but like I think there's a way to do it where you could at least have like I don't know. There's enough places that are set by the water here where I'm like you could do that. You just have like a nice glass open front, but then you run into the same thing like Boston. Like, well, maybe the money is just not worth the investment.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're right. You
it's
know
tough,
what?
man.
You know
It's
what?
tough.
You're right. You're right. No, you
It's
said
tough,
it.
man. Because I think like 80% or 70% of tournament goers just want to go and fucking camp in front of a TV. They just want enough friendlies, and that's
You're-
it. Like, I think that's why SmashCon and CEO are like the most
You're totally
well-liked
right,
tournaments, because they focus mostly on putting on a video game tournament first, and then secondary it is everything else. But it's
Yeah.
tough, but at the same time, I feel like it being I feel like everyone, it's kind of like I don't know if superficial is the right word for it, but it's kind of like I've been like I think we've all said this before at one point, is that Smash has brought us to some really cool places in life, some really cool cities that I would never go to otherwise probably, or not have a good opportunity to go to. Or
Absolutely.
maybe it's because we're boomers and we appreciate that a little bit more.
Yeah, the
maybe-
traveling aspect is something.
Because the tournament for me isn't just competing anymore, you know, and it's the same with you guys. It's production. It's a lot of stuff going on. It's appreciating the event and being with people, and I appreciate doing all those things without, you know, just going to a hotel room, going to the venue, and then going back to a hotel room, and maybe going to a Chick-fil-A or whatever, and that's it. Like I want something more, man. I want.
We
something
definitely went to
more.
Chick-fil-A. Like we went to.
Many times.
We went. I think I went twice in one day. Actually, that was
Yeah.
disgusting.
It's the only time I go to Chick-fil-A is when I'm at SmashCon, because it's right there and it's good bang for your buck. But that's the only time I'll ever go.
Yeah, same. So yeah, I agree. Like with all the sentiments that you guys like said.
It's a
Like,
balance. That's my final analysis. Is that it's a
So-
balance between
And it even like shakes down to like the local scenes too, because like you see a lot more of these like esports centers like kind of like pop up, like where we host DNA at, and like where Balance Patch is at on Thursdays, and like those are like the pristine locals. And I feel like a lot of people have gotten like, because those are so popular now, people have kind of like lost sight of like, you know, a tournament doesn't have to be in this luxurious spot, as long as it's like ran well and like, you know, things are comfortable, people will come back.
This is
Like I've been to plenty of like tournaments that are in like sketchy places, but like the people and like everything is like so like charming that like I'm willing to go back.
This is truly an interesting time, I feel like, for local gaming, because I feel like this isn't going to be a thing in the future. Like, once some of these LAN centers and stuff get a little bit more established and a little bit more what they are, like your little locals that run, like they'll still exist, but they're just going to be far less relevant, man. Because all the people who have money and want to actually get into this stuff work with the LAN centers. So it's just
Yeah.
like those are the tournaments that are going to get support by default. Like there's a reason why
Well-
like I grind DNA the way I do. Like it's just where the
You're
attention
just
will
waiting for
inevitably
you're just,
go.
yeah, you're just waiting for the times.
But the thing, I feel like locals will always be big and healthy and smashed as long as Wi-Fi sucks, there'll always be a demand or a need
That's
for like
facts.
that's real, man. If Wi-Fi was good and they had a real tournament mode, so many more kids would just stay at home and play. Why the fuck would I go and drive 45 minutes into the city, pay for parking, pay for venue, wait around all night, spend 6 hours away from my house when I could just grind on Wi-Fi with my friends who are probably better than most of the competition that I'll run into in bracket?
That's why no one shows up for like Fortnite or Overwatch tournaments, dude.
Exactly.
You just
Smash
play
really is a
home.
special thing, man. It's a weird hindrance because I know everyone hates that the Wi-Fi sucks, and it does especially compared to other esports and all that. It's better than it has been, but it's still bad. It's just I think it actually has weird silver lining, has kept us being a very grassroots and very personal face-to-face community, which is neat.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually never thought about it that way, but
If Wi-Fi was good, if Wi-Fi was perfect, if I could, host, if real online tournaments were a thing, we wouldn't have weeklies would have their attendance would be slashed.
That's that I mean that's facts. Like that's true.
Yep.
I never thought about that. The blessing of crappy online Smash for anyone trying to do anything outside of that, but that's true. You
People have tried to do it, and the complaints are always the same. Like that's why, obviously, Knifey Wars is successful, but because it's attached to Nairo, basically,
sure.
and people don't take that shit seriously. Like, there's no online circuit or no online tournament has ever counted for PGR.
yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
I'm excited. Needless to say, though, I do get excited for these for these Atlantic City casino adjacent tournaments. Because we had that series in Pennsylvania for a while in Bethlehem that was right next to the Sands.
I miss
Yeah,
it.
One day Smash Quest will
Every
come back
day.
to us. Every
Smash
day.
Quest was the name.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Smash
Smash
Quest
Quest.
is definitely lit.
Yeah, it was attached to the Sands Casino in Bethlehem.
Everyone
Sands?
loves. Yeah, Sands.
Yes, goddamn.
Yeah, there's a Grillby's. There's a Grillby's there.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Right next to the Grillby's. Well, the thing,
yeah.
well, there's been so many tournaments in Atlantic City, man. We didn't even bring this up because there was a CSL tournament there that was underwhelming, and even Royal Flush. It was hard to tell just because it was melee centric, but even that was on the smaller end.
Not even. Yeah, it was there was the people that were there were names, but it was also small in stature, and Atlantic City, it's expensive. These casino tournaments get really, really pricey, just because of the environment you're in. But as someone that a lot of my weekends are unfortunately dedicated to the grind of Super Smash Brothers, I do enjoy these weekends where I get an excuse to go to Atlantic
That's
City
true.
and kind of
that is something.
unwind.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
something. Mm-hmm.
That's something I
Yeah.
look forward to.
I'm telling you, I swear, a part of it is an age thing. I'm not saying, it's a direct correlation. Older people might just want to sit and play and grind, or maybe some of the younger members of the scene really want to get out and check out a city or check out some cool landmarks or some shit. But I'm saying, I feel like it's a variable that's very hard to account for, and how much can you anticipate we need to pay X amount for a venue in this city or X amount for a venue in this city, and the pros and cons are essentially the cityscapes versus each other, or the commodities that are allowed in both cities, quality food, all that shit, nightlife and all that stuff. And what does that really mean? Is that really important to our tournament, or just kinda, or not really at all, or 100%, or what's the deal? It's almost impossible to quantify that, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a slip for sure. That being said, though, like I said, I am pretty excited, especially with how the weather's been the last couple days here.
It's been summertime. It's
Yeah,
weird, weird stuff.
So so it's gonna be fun. We could I could walk outside without a jacket on, and we're also right next to the Hard Rock, so that's gonna be some shenanigans are definitely gonna occur. As Frank said earlier, before he mysteriously vanished, I think the raccoon finally got him.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, but
Might have been the cat, man. That cat is a demon of sorts.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
shifty. I didn't like his like shady behavior, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the TV tropes page just got much weirder for the podcast.
Yeah, like he's never really done anything to me. Like I don't even know him, but I don't
It's
know.
like an episode. This is like the pilot episode of an American Horror Story season. Like we're on a podcast call with him, and he was talking about an evil cat.
American Horror Story boomer.
Dude, if he gets unmuted and I hear a cat meow, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's a Halloween time.
I'm gonna head out basically.
Yeah, but that pretty much covers everything I want this week. So I don't know if you guys got anything else to add.
No, that was cool, man. Yeah, I appreciate you bringing up the thing about tournament settings is such an interesting topic and such a thing. I feel like I don't think any of us are really big time TOs or anything. We're more on the production side of things, but it's definitely a really really interesting debate and conflict and thing to consider. So, but again, I think the most successful tournament overall is Super Smash Con. I think people can agree is the most consistently successful tournament, and I think a part of that has nothing. It's interesting because it's a tournament that has really nothing going for it in terms of where it is physically in the United States, aside from the fact that there's a lot of space and a lot of room and a lot of setups for the tournament, and it's a dedicated. The theme is good too, like it being the con for Super Smash Brothers is a really really good theme, and they provide entertainment all weekend. So when you get knocked out of bracket, that's something you really got to think about. I feel like as a TO, if you get knocked out of bracket, what is there to do? And I think most people just want to grind, honestly. I think like having side brackets and all that shit is really important. But for some people, it's I got knocked out. I want to go to a bar. I want to go to a cool local bar. I want to check out some of the local shit. And that's that. But I don't know, man. It's an interesting topic for sure. So I appreciate you bringing that up. It's cool.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll crack open a cold one for you this weekend.
Sweet. Appreciate that. I will be grinding my boomer games. You guys will definitely be on my second monitor all weekend, though. I'll have you guys in the big house up on the secondary monitor watching.
Yeah, it's gonna be something, and I'm looking forward to it. It's been, albeit a little bit stressful leading up to it, but it always kind of evens itself out. And alcohol is a great cure. IMO. It's like, but yeah. So if you guys enjoy the content, obviously make sure to follow Master Hand Games on all social media platforms, and like us on Twitch, even though we're not streaming the podcast. But check it out. Check us out on YouTube and Twitter, obviously, where we got some cool stuff coming in the pipeline. The fall never ceases to be busy around here because we got Open Source Smash and the Tri-State Showdown happening next month. So yeah,
the grind never stops.
Are you guys ever coming out with MHG merchandise or gloves off merchandise that I could purchase?
We've been thinking about.
I've been talking about this a lot. It's just like I'm in the middle of getting another computer to get the Platinum Star Weekly basically streamed.
Okay.
So I'm mostly just watching the dollars, but honestly, merch is good as long as I could sell it because I'll make those dollars back. It's just kind of like But no,
it's just been a matter of us like finding.
A big part of the thing is, and you mentioned this earlier with Summit gear. I want the merch to be wearable. I don't want it to just be my logo or just the MHG logo. Like I want it to actually be like, wow, this is kind of a cool shirt, or like I fuck with this, like I wear it. So I don't want to just like make things. I actually have some really cool ideas for. I know I'm a big fan of bomber jackets, and I want to use them with a purpose. So we'll see.
I like that a lot.
I don't like traditional esports style at all. I just want like really cool, like trendy wear.
You mean we're not gonna get an MHG motocross jersey?
I'm sorry, I can't.
With a monster logo.
I can't do it.
Esports apparel for the most part, piss. It's just piss. Like that is just a fact.
So this is a whole other topic. Maybe we'll talk about this next week. It basically the way esports is being modeled off of real sports. It makes sense because of the success of real sports. But if anyone thinks the way actual sports runs is like really healthy or good, it might. I don't know. I don't think it's the best system to model off of, especially when something is so like young in its thing.
Yeah.
But I guess I know why though, because money.
Yeah.
But still, there's so many better ways things can happen.
It's like replicate it because it's successful, and that's how you appeal to essentially investors or other sort of anyone who's going to bring money. It makes sense, but it looks okay. First off, jerseys and shit are designed for people who are athletic, and I hate to tell you,
hate to break it to you.
Not many people in esports are athletic. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that a jersey or whatever isn't designed to fit people who aren't very athletic. So.
You know what that means?
Not gonna lie to Haddis in the first half.
So that's why. I want to produce athletes that look like athletes, but I want them to wear regular clothes. and it'll be great.
I like the hoodie type jacket type look. I think that's cool. I think there's a lot of ways you can make esports apparel look cool, and not necessarily wearing a jersey is one of them.
Dude, they look so corny. They look corny.
And one thing with the jerseys is like, I don't care if you're an S plus platinum best,
Top gamer.
TSM, TSM sponsor, or if you're a fucking rinky dink, Z tier, you have $30 in the budget or $30 in the vault. you have a jersey, like, it kind of lost its. Initially, I thought it was really cool. Maybe just because I've seen it so many times at this point, but it's not that special anymore. Is how I feel, and I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just haven't done enough research on what's cool in esports. But just as a gut feeling, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a psychology behind it. Like, there's the barrier to entry versus sports of getting into esports is obviously way lower. And then, like, if you're in that demographic where you kind of got in there, like, maybe you want a jersey because you didn't get it elsewhere. I don't know. I wonder. There's probably a lot of psychology behind it.
Oh wow.
I just had that thought.
Maybe everyone just has daddy issues. Like, that's just everyone.
Dude, because like, who doesn't want their kid? Like, I don't know. You think about it, like the amount of dads who just didn't become a professional baseball player that want their kid to become a professional baseball player. That's a big population, dude. That's like a lot of kids.
I know. And I mean, a jersey. What does a jersey symbolize, right? We're really getting into the weeds here, but yeah, man.
I don't know.
We talk all day about this shit.
Damn. Maybe next week. We'll see.
Yeah, that's definitely on our sister podcast. What did I wear this week?
featuring I almost said Shoyo James, but Rivers.
To be fair, James does have pretty good drip. He dresses very well.
He does. I think a part of that is just because he's cool. Like, I feel like fashion's that way though. Like, if you're cool, you can wear anything. It's like, oh, that's dope. That's the coolest looking shit ever.
That's true.
Yeah, if I try dressing like James, people like, come on. But yeah, if you guys like the sound of my voice, you can follow me on Twitter at KoopaNJ. And like I said earlier, I'm gonna be at Battle for the East this weekend, and then I thought I was gonna be taking, kind of putting things into a lower gear because we're nearing the end of the year. But no, Open Source Smash and the Tri-State Showdown are around the corner, and I will probably be at those. I'd be kind of stupid not to go to them.
Yeah.
So
I think both of them, or at least one of them, is already like B tier or something.
Yeah, Tri-State Showdown is already a B tier.
Wow.
So definitely make sure to go sign up for that. That tournament's going to be dope. It is approximately 25 minutes from my house, so I will be there in spades. So.
I just realized Nairo's stream is sponsored by Spirit Halloween, which is hilarious.
That's so funny. Yeah,
I didn't know.
Dude,
that.
he's wearing a Ken costume. Funny.
He's rotated between like 4 different costumes since I started watching him earlier.
Heck?
I watched him early on as Ken. Obviously, I watched that and I was like, oh, this is cool. He's doing like a Ken themed stream, and now he's just changed his costume like 4 times.
What does he dress up as now?
I don't know. I think it's an anime thing. So it's my guess because I don't know what it is.
Big collar, zipped up.
Oh, he's wearing the Uchiha thing from the.
Is that Naruto?
Is that the? Does it have clouds on the bottom?
It has to be Naruto. I can't see from here, but that has to be Naruto.
Is Naruto the most notable anime? Is that a thing? Is that
it's one of the flagship ones. Usually, like the super popular ones are like the shonen anime, and Naruto's like on the Mount Rushmore of shonen anime.
Probably, it's like Rugrats tier of just like American cartoons, I would say, right? I mean, a lot of people know it. Like, it's been around for a long time. Has seen a couple different like style. Well, I guess just one big style change, but.
Oh, did it? I literally don't know.
So there was like an original series,
and then there was a time skip series.
This should be a podcast we do. You guys, I just ask questions about anime and you guys explain it to me.
I don't have a lot of anime answers.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Oh, I'm about it. We have to make this happen.
That actually is not a bad idea.
I would have so many questions. You'd have to have like a slideshow and like pictures of the animes ready for me.
No, we just found a new gimmick to do at the end of every. You randomly pick an anime out of like a list of things, and then we have to like describe it to you. I think we just found our gimmick.
I'm so bad at anime, man.
Dude, it's fine, same. But Haz, where can the good people find you?
Twitter.com. It's a free website. I'm on there. I love not calling it Twitter. I love calling it Twitter.com. It makes me laugh every time. Twitter.com. My username, my @ is HazmatRules.
So for all the boomers out there.
Yeah, for all my boomers. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That and my Twitch is the same. I have not streamed in a while. I've been not feeling the. I feel like when I have free time, I should be playing WoW. So that's what I've been doing. I feel like
Why don't you stream the WoW?
it's boring. It's
So
like honestly,
here's the thing about Twitch, Mr. Has Matthew. I
Oh,
feel like
God.
the whole thing is like you're supposed to just like turn it on. People hang out, want to hang out. It's like if they're just sitting on the couch just watching you. So even if it's just a couple of the boys, you're still doing the same thing you were doing originally. You don't even technically need to have your face in there. Like you're just live hanging with the boys playing WoW Classic.
Here's what I would do, and I saw other streamers doing this where they just take there's a lot of open space in the WoW interface, like a lot of like dead space essentially to immerse you more in the environments and in the story and all that stuff. So I watched it on my second monitor, and a lot of people do this where they just put like a video in a video basically, where they just have a YouTube series or something playing while they're playing WoW. And I was thinking of watching Smash VODs while I play WoW. I think that might be
$1,000,000%, because Twitch has like no problem with any of that like copyright stuff. You know what I mean? So like if you're using someone's VODs, I don't think it even matters.
sweet. I'm gonna steal your VODs.
Dude, go for it. I just want people watching them. Please.
Nah,
Fair
it
enough.
has you gotta find your way in where like you know how like EE and like TK watch like Hell's Kitchen and Shark Tank?
Yes.
So you just have to watch episodes of Hey Arnold while you're
So I was gonna say, I don't know
That's
how
actually
the copyright
not a
works.
bad idea. Like I'm just
I
gonna throw it out
might
there.
do that. I just don't know what the rules are in terms of restrictions. So here are the shows I've watched while playing WoW. Hey Arnold, Entourage, almost all of it. I started from like season 3. I watched almost all of it. I've been catching up on American Horror Story.
okay.
So I don't. Those are kind of big network shows, though. I feel like they're. I feel like, especially HBO is like pretty
HBO is tricky. You might have
Yeah.
to check with the TOS for that.
HBO will cut you down at the knees.
But
That's
like,
brutal.
hey
They
Arnold,
will not
dude,
hesitate.
no one's coming for copyright claim on that right now.
Not even Arnold himself.
Dude, no, I don't think. I think Arnold probably. I don't think he's very good at legalities or anything like that.
Even
could-
he's like what, 12 years old?
Give him an episode,
Still.
and he'll figure it out, man. I have faith in Arnold.
Yeah, that's actually well played.
Yeah, you know, I've been
You think
watching. All right, I'll look into it because I would like to do that, but I mean, I might as well, right? I'm just sitting here and playing WoW.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, if you
Sometimes,
just wanted to be active, like you could. I think about
For-
that too sometimes. Like,
For anyone who's listening who has streamed, there's a huge difference between streaming and playing a game, and just playing a game because you want to. Like, because
Yeah.
even if I'm just sitting here doing nothing, it's just I don't know. I feel like it's like that social pressure of feeling like you have to perform. It's kind of like going to like a family party or like going out. Like it takes social energy.
for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of social energy that goes into it. That's why like I don't go out nearly as much as I used to because I get tired at like 10:30. So this weekend's gonna be interesting, needless to say.
Yeah.
But
Heck
yeah.
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
this guy. Sorry, never mind. Maybe I'll consider it. How's that sound? Maybe that's how I'll start working my way back in because I do want to watch the VODs and I do want to do some big house analysis.
So yeah, you'll just be chilling. Speaking of just chilling, yeah, I guess you can find me at CSantaZX, also on Twitter.com, for all of your. I don't know. I got the occasional boomer sentiments, but they're calculated. I like to play
Like I
dumb a little
said,
bit, you know.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's pretty good, and I've also realized what a unique insight it is to like a much younger generation of people. So it is kind of fun. But in either case, yeah. So you could do that. Coop already mentioned. Follow the podcast. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with your boys if you like it. Also, just hanging out with these recordings, and we definitely appreciate all the regulars who are watching because there are a few of you. So that's
And
They're
I'm pretty sure-
regulars.
Yeah.
there's definitely some regulars. I don't know who they are because they never comment on anything
We
or
actually,
say anything, but there is
we
a,
talked about
a good
this
pool of
during our Smash-
regulars.
We talked about it during our SmashCon episode. I actually met a guy at Smash podcast. And like this is like a complete
Wait, you cut out. What did you say?
I said that we at SmashCon I had a complete stranger with no relation to me or Chris come up to us and say he likes the podcast. So
It gets out there, man. It's interesting to see because I think there is genuinely a group of people out there who are just trying to find out things in layman's terms of like whatever, just wherever you first stumble across like Smash, whether it be my channel or any channel, they're gonna look for more info. And I've
yeah,
noticed,
they
dude, that
just chose the most unprofessional avenue.
Yeah,
with
but
us.
like that's great.
They
So
really,
like
they really fucked up.
they did. I don't know if you guys,
They could do so much better.
if you're still listening to this, anyone, I don't know what the fuck
I'm
you're doing.
kidding.
I'm just joking. Yeah, no, it's really good. I noticed the
All
base
right,
of my
I'm back.
follow-
I had to talk about work stuff. Did I miss anything fun and exciting here in this very professional podcast?
We actually just waited the whole time. We didn't say anything.
we
Oh,
didn't.
that's so polite of you
Dude, we
guys.
were. I'm glad you finally showed up because we were trying to end the episode, but we were just waiting until you were here to tell us where to find you on Twitter.
Oh, fantastic. You can find me at HangmanXII across all social media. And that's it. Right now, not a lot. It's been a bit quiet, but planning things in the works.
Do you want to drink
Yeah.
this weekend, Frank?
Yes, definitely going to drink this week.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Because you're gonna be a Battle for. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk. I want to watch Hey Arnold now. I'm definitely gonna watch a couple of episodes.
rules.
So.
Yo, I have not seen the Hey Arnold movie. That's out, right?
Oh, there's
Which
a
one?
movie.
The movie?
Isn't there? I know.
That's
there's-
right, yeah, they
There's
had
a Rocco
the,
movie too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
saw
had.
the Rocco one. I haven't seen the Invader Zim special yet, though.
It's very good.
What about the Even Stevens movie? Great movie.
Anyway, thank you for all for watching
Great
the
movie.
podcast. Thank
Chris
you all.
knows what I'm talking about.
I'm so.
I gotta go. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you
or
next week.
listening. Yeah. Bye.